Hi, I'm Jay, EscobarJ.com. This video is why investing is better than saving. Now, I've done 4 videos on this topic, so if you haven't checked out those first 4 videos, I highly recommend you go check those out first. I'll post them in the description below for easy access for you. And today what we're going to be talking about is residual income. And this is just another reason why investing your money is much better than just simply parking it in a bank account and letting it sit there creating minimal interest. I mean, the banks give you like 0.001% or something like that, which is just absolutely ridiculously low. I mean, you make like 1 or 2 cents every month or something like that. I mean, you're never going to get rich off that. And not to mention inflation is going to overtake that marginal, tiny, fractional gain over the course of maybe a year or 2. Now, the dollar is pretty strong right now, and the stock market is obviously going up right now, but residual income, if you diversify your investment strategies, not just like I'm in stocks or in, investing, but in a plethora of different vehicles, it's going to set you up for your future. And in my last video, I'm super excited to talk about my last video because it's something that I set up and started recently in the last 2 years. And it's been paying pretty good dividends so far. And not in the sense of like real dividends as in a stock, but I will explain in the next video. But today, depending on what vehicle that you're investing in, you can create residual income in lots of different areas. And I'm going to talk about some of those areas. And again, most, if not all of these areas of investing your money is much better than just sheepishly saving and just letting your money sit and pile up in a bank account or hiding it under the mattress, so to speak. So if you invest in something like real estate, there's a few different vehicles in real estate that you can invest in. There's REITs, real estate investment trusts. You can be a lender, you can be a hard money lender. And being a lender, it falls into the category of real estate, but it actually falls into the category of like life in general, just a general investment strategy, not even related to real estate. You can just, lend your money out to friends or family. Hopefully you're doing a good vetting process, or just other random people. And hopefully you have a good vetting process for that. But in real estate specifically, you can earn residual income off of rental cash flow. And if you accrue enough property, depending on how big of size of properties you do at a time, this income can actually be quite significant. Now, don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of work. It doesn't just happen overnight. You have to do planning. You have to, it's just like any other business. It's something that you have to be dedicated and put consistent time into. There's a learning process, a learning curve to it. I myself haven't even gone through the full learning curve of investing in real estate, because there's so many different avenues and areas you can go into. Personally, I've done wholesale real estate, and I've bought my own properties before. And I don't have any investment properties as of right now, but that's my next stepping stone, is to start getting into higher level investment properties like apartment complexes and, quadplexes, those types of things, and start scaling up slowly from there. And those really cool ways is eventually you can get a 4-plex, or you can buy a duplex. And if you get the right deal and you do the math right, and you estimate the proper costs on repairs, you can essentially live for free or close to living for free. And then you just repeat the process every year, every couple of years if you need to. And you can eventually scale up until you have a pretty big, portfolio of investment property that's cash flowing for you, a full-time income that allows you to free up your time. So, I mean, it's a very, very good way to create residual income. But again, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of patience and practice. So it's good to get into the action mode in these vehicles. Now, the next one is going to be stocks. And before you get into stocks, just make sure you're doing the proper research on the companies that you are thinking about investing in. You can invest in dividend-yielding stocks, which are going to pay you a percentage of the income that the profits, I guess I should say, that the company is making, and they pay it on a quarterly basis. And if you do good research, I mean, you don't just want to throw money into just whatever companies. You want to make sure you're doing your research. You're looking at the financials of these companies, making sure they're looking good. There's no major news that's going to decline the stock in the foreseeable future. But, you know, it's another great way to create passive income, create residual income, just by having your money in a certain vehicle. You know, you're literally not doing anything. You buy a stock, and if that stock performs well and it's got high profits, the more stocks you have in that company, the higher the dividend will be for you. And then the other way is and obviously there's more than one way to create residual income. I'm just talking about some very basic principles here. But the last pretty basic one that you can do is a certificate of deposit. And it's another great way to create passive income. Now, this one isn't going to yield probably as high as a real estate investment or a stock investment. But if you look for a high interest rate bank online and create a CD with them, you can get a pretty modest and pretty good return on your money just for having your money parked somewhere, like literally having your money work for you overnight. And that's the idea of residual income. That's why it's such a great strategy to create financial freedom and create a wealth-filled future, if you will. And instead of just parking your money somewhere and having it sit and not do anything for you, right? And again, there's some level of risks to these investments, but you know, a couple of them are relatively low risk that will yield you a good enough return that can get rid of that inflation gap, if you want to call it that, and really give you a good solid return on your money and have your money work for you so that you eventually you can really control your time. Because that's really the whole point, is money gives you option and money gives you control of your time. And that's really the key takeaway here, is that's the whole point to wealth creation, is to have ultimate control of your time. So that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, and don't forget, I have my last video on this topic that I'm very excited to talk to you about. I could have included it in this topic of residual income because it is a fantastic way to build long-term wealth. And I will get into that into the next video. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit subscribe, like button, hit the little bell icon so you don't miss it when I release the video. And other than that, if you'd like to visit my website and get help or just have more discussion on this topic, you can book a coaching session on my website, escobarj.com. And you can also shoot me an email there. At the very least, do me a favor. If you know of anybody who could use this information, or if you would like to be generous, my purpose is to help as many people as I possibly can, to help millions and millions around the world. So by you sharing this video with your friends and family, helps me out to fulfill my purpose and to get the word out to as many people as I possibly can, and to help others grow and improve their lives and themselves ultimately. So by sharing this helps me accomplish that. Other than that, I hope you're always learning, always growing, and always pushing forward. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.